Hello, I'm Fruzsina, Nagy, a costume designer from Hungary, Budapest. I would like to introduce you a performance called The Issue. For this performance, my costumes were the main characters, the main inspiration, and the main elements of this whole performance.
Mindent lehet majd, elég lesz csak akarni. Bárhol szabad lesz, járni vettem megállni. Tovább, hogy soha csak központból azonnal. Nem fog törődni, senki várja azonnal. Nem gázolnak át, mi rajtunk a nagy vadát. Feleslegesen nem elérezned magad. Megszoktak halad, akárhol a gyermekedet. Sajnos békében idegenes leheted.
The Issue is a unique performance that I co-directed with Dóra Halas and with her choir we worked called the Soharóza. There were singing models presenting extreme, meaningful costumes on stage. There were 31 singers, 12 songs, which meant 12 collections, and about 99 really extreme experimental costumes. The Issue presents an abstract living picture of the current state of Hungarian society and its regions through short stories that take place in a typical environment of our urban life, which is the bureau office. And in this performance, I used some costumes for office workers, which were two-dimensional costumes. They were inspired by these two-dimensional paper dress dolls in the style they use in municipal offices, gray, boring, and uniformized business suits. Also in the performance, there's a costume which was inspired by a parking Freud. It's very common in Hungary that healthy, sporty men trying to get bribe some people to get these disabled parking card. And in my costume, the singer was taking out all these doctor papers, x-rays, prescriptions to prove his illness. At the end, he looked like a huge octopus. In Hungary, when you have something to pay, like your rent or your gas bill or electricity, you use these yellow checks. So I made a whole collection of these yellow paychecks. The pensioners in Hungary often pull these trolley bags after themselves. So our collection, which was about these sad pensioners, complaining pensioners, I used these trolley bags as their costumes. So they were wearing them instead of pulling them after themselves. The Maternity Benefit was a very personal design from my own life, because once you become pregnant, you're facing this impossible mission of getting through the bureaucratic labyrinth of the mothers. So these 4 pastel colors gowns, first they inflate into pregnant bellies, and then they are followed by several inflatable baby prams forming these big skirts. The game damage costumes, they had headdresses which represented the animals which made damage in your farm or in your product, and the dresses were themselves the damages. I really enjoyed actually damaging these beautiful printed silk dresses with like scissors and scalpels, and also I burnt a lot of holes on them. The rotten food was inspired by an issue that was very common in Hungary, that they are still selling food that they already went out of their date. So in my costumes, the wrapping was really beautiful. So they were the first layer, and as they took them off, you could see the second layer, and underneath the third layer. So with this strip, you can see all these clothes getting really rotten and damaged. In Hungary, when you want to deal with an issue, sometimes you have to make a phone call, and of course they will connect you with somebody and connect that person to another person, and you keep waiting, waiting, and waiting. So this was the inspiration for these call center costumes in my performance. And for the silence regulations, because lots of people complained in these blocks of flats about the noise, I use these noise-proof sponges and also just egg boxes for the costumes. And then around the mouse, I use some Lego pieces. And in contrast, they were wearing some ski boots. The estate agent costumes were like really normal-looking men at the beginning, but then you could see that instead of the beer belly, they pulled out these huge skirts with the foundation of these flats that they were planning to build, and at the end they turned out to be these turning dervishes. And there was an average man character which came back through the performance connecting these etudes, and at the beginning he looked really normal. He just had a small issue to change something on his address card, but at the end he got so frustrated that his whole character changed. His head turned red, and at the end we even put him through this paper shredder at the end of the performance.
Az eldők, az eldők, az eldők, az eldők.